These people are delusional. So during a segment on CNN, this lady here, Karen Finney, a Democrat, brought up Joe Biden's legacy. Thank God they have Scott Jennings there.
Look, it is going to be really just days from now that Joe Biden will no longer be president.
Amen.
How will his time in office be remembered? I think there's probably a shorter term question and then a longer term question.
Sure, I agree with that. Look, I think in the longer term, we will remember that this is a president and vice president who helped us come back from the brink during COVID, when people were dying by the hundreds of thousands on a daily basis, and we were in our homes. But Joe Biden's record with regard to the things that he's accomplished, I think will stand the test of time. Now, quite frankly, I'm going to say this, rightfully so. It was very disturbing to learn late in the year about just how how poor his health has become. And like many, I did not realize that it had gotten to that point. That being said, I think he showed up for the job. He got the work done. I think some of the accomplishments also in the Middle East and foreign policy will also stand the test of time.
You think the Middle East is in better shape today than when he took office?
Well, I think he got our hostages home. I think that's a big deal. I think it's important.
I'm sorry, which hostages?
He's gotten a number of people home. He was able.
There's still 100 people over there.
Well, there were more than that.
Including some Americans. Look, I think he's gonna leave office in disgrace. The Hunter Biden pardon was disgraceful. He's going to be remembered largely for inflation and for the disastrous Afghanistan pullout. And I think as we continue to, we're just getting the first draft of this now, but as we continue to learn about the massive cover-up that went on, not about his health, but about his mental acuity, to cover that up, the efforts that were undertaken by the White House staff, by his family, not in the last couple of months, but for all 4 years, I think it's going to be a really ugly chapter. It's a diminished presidency because of it. And I think we still don't know the full extent of what they did to try to hide what they've been doing over in the West Wing.
So over the long term, this is somebody a lot like Mitch McConnell. You don't necessarily have to agree with everything they stood for. You don't have to agree with every vote, but you always knew they put the American people first. You always knew that.
What?
We had different paths of getting there, but that's what they believed in. They believed in this country, they believed in these institutions, and they did their best to strengthen them from different perspectives and different perches. Tangibly, Inflation Reduction Act, CHIPS Act, putting Ketanji Brown Jackson on the Supreme Court. I mean, these are things, you have prescription prices that are capped, things that Donald Trump's going to take credit for emerging from COVID. Tangibly, from a political perspective, bipartisanship, that's what Joe Biden means.
There's no way anybody with common sense can look at Joe Biden's administration and the fact, as we all know now, that the White House covered up the president's mental decline from day one of his presidency, as you can see in this multiple report. There's no way somebody can look at this and somehow think this man's legacy will stand the test of time. Even CNN reported that more than half of Americans were not happy with Joe Biden's job as president. What is she talking about? This was a mess, lady. Talk about being delusional. You let me know what you think about this in the comment section. God bless you and your family. God bless Scott Jennings. Catch you on the next one. Democrats.